This is Fred Beck and Fred Talks Fighting, brought to you by Undisputed, available on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm joined by BJ Flores over Zoom. It's been a little bit of time since we last caught up. How are you? How's life treating you?
It's been too long, Fred. Appreciate the call and got a couple exciting things to talk about. So I'm looking forward to a very big next 6 months on the scene, and I think there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff that happens in the next 6 months.
No, certainly. You've got quite a roster of fighters
Hmm.
you're training right now. We'll start with the
Yeah,
main one that everyone's talking about, Wade Plem. How's he doing? Is he training? Are you keeping him in the gym?
yeah. Wade's got a busy schedule. Obviously, he works with with the Ring magazine. Also, does the volume. He's traveling around a lot. He's doing a lot of different interview pieces and different things like that. Staying really extremely busy, and that's what he wants to do for his career. So he's such a great kid and such a hard worker. He's very responsible. He's in the right place at all times, and I'm real proud of him. So yeah, he's staying busy, but we're quietly doing some training and we're quietly working on the side. And Wade knows what he has to do if he wants to box again and kind of, what needs to be, happening in the meantime in between these fights. And I'll just say he's not hard to convince. So I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, with Wade's Ring magazine deal, it will mean he's got lot more work on. He'll be a lot more busy.
Yeah.
Is that affecting the training?
He's not out here training with me physically right now, but we talk, once, twice a week. We'll see what he's doing. He's working out, 4 or 5 times a week, staying sharp, always working on building his base and making himself a better athlete, stronger, faster, everything that he needs to do to be successful in the ring. So we have we talk about what needs to be done in between his fights and, if he wants to stay at this level, if he wants to go to this level, like what needs to happen. And he's diligent. He's excited about it. And we might have some interesting challenges coming up in the next little bit.
What did you think of Aaron the Plumber calling out Wade Plem?
Um, well, first of all, I'm excited to have Aaron on the scene. I think it's going to be, a lot of action in America, and in every organization, you need dance partners, and I think Aaron's going to be a great dance partner. I'm excited for him to be in the scene. He's excited about it. I think he's got a great team around him. He's got a very good trainer. I know who his trainer is, and he's a technician. He teaches fundamentals, and he's a boxing guy. He's not an influencer. He's a very well schooled coach, and I think Aaron's going to be prepared. So it's definitely something we got to be ready for.
Do you see Aaron's the plumber's kind of physique? He's got that kind of sort of bodybuilder physique that kind of means when you see fighters of that physique, they're only good for 1 or 2 rounds. Do you see Aaron the plumber as kind of strong in the first round, strong in the second round, and then will tire off later on in the fight?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think he's got a good team around him, so he's gonna be ready for the rounds. But I mean, also with experience comes experience, and you don't know what you don't know till you don't know it and you get in there. And it's tough to pace yourself for those 4 rounds. But he looks like an explosive guy, so he's a guy that we got to be careful for early. 1, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. You got to remember at this size, Fred, they can all punch, and we got to be ready for that. So I'm not looking at him as a 1 or 2 round fighter. I'm looking at him as a guy we got to get ready for until the job's done. And I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. In August, whenever that next card is on Misfits. I think he said it was August 2nd or something. But I'm looking forward to seeing how he does and watching him. And I hope he wins. I hope he goes out there and performs, and I think he will. And I think it's going to be a nice little shot in the arm to the Misfits roster.
Did Mams offer you that fight already with Wade and Aaron the plumber?
Well, it was never really anything that we talked about like 100%, but Wade's not a hard guy to find, like you said, and I think the name might have came up to us, and we didn't get like deep into negotiations or anything like that. So it wasn't something like, oh, they don't want it or whatever. It wasn't really like that. They just, Aaron needs to fight before he fights Wade, and maybe a fight, maybe two. We'll see kind of how it goes. But that experience getting in that first fight is invaluable. And like I said, if Wade can tell you, getting underneath those lights and getting there, fighting in front of a big crowd, it's not like anything he's ever done before. So to let him get in there and get that one fight, I think it's going to help him out a lot, and I think it'll make him and Wade's fight a lot bigger in the future.
Well, I guess if Wade fights at the end of the year, he'll be busy, tied up with a lot of Ring magazine stuff. You can let
Mm-hmm.
Aaron the plumber have 1 or 2 fights and then make that fight kind of just November, December time.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's a situation where we're kind of we'll be open to it when they want it, and we'll just kind of go from there. We'll be open to it, and like I said, Wade's got a lot of work to do. Aaron's got a lot of work to do. They're both very green, but they're both different types of personalities. You know, Aaron's loud and flamboyant, gets the attention. He's got a great traction on social media, and people really like him. And I mean, that's exciting. Those are the kind of people we want to, have fights with, and we want in the Misfit scene. And I think it's a great opportunity for him to get involved. And it seems like he's taking it very serious. And I chatted with his manager a time or two, and I just like all the energy coming out from those guys. It sounds like they're really taking it serious, and that's the only way you could be successful in this business. So when the fight does happen, it'll definitely be something that you'll want to tune into because I can guarantee on Wade's side he'll be ready also.
No, it's good to have Aaron the Plumber on the scene. I've seen a few of his things online. He does like a
It's
fight.
great, yeah. It's great. Yeah, I mean, ever since Mams told me Misfits signed him, I've been watching all his stuff on social media and stuff, and I mean, I like him, So it's going to be interesting to when they do fight. But I do like the kid, and he comes across as very genuine. And I chatted with him once briefly, and man, what's not to like? So I think he's going to be, like I said, a great addition to the scene. And when it does happen, we'll see who he fights. I'll be curious to see who he fights. I hope he wins and does well. And I would like to get Wade another fight. After August, pretty soon as well. Josh Bruckner is chomping at the bit. He's ready to go. And Tristan is the most dangerous three-fight fighter in the entire Misfit scene at any division. It doesn't matter. There's nobody more dangerous than Tristan with 3 fights. And I think everybody knows that. But on the next fight, I'm telling you, everybody will for sure know that. Tristan's been quietly working. He's ready to go. He's ready to make a statement. And Josh Bruckner as well. He's always in tremendous shape. BJ, when are we fighting? BJ, what's going on? So you just really like to have guys like that, and it's a lot of fun to work with them, and I'm looking forward to it.
What's next to Josh Bruckner? Is the tournament still happening?
Yeah, I mean, Mam said we're trying to put it together, and I mean, we're open to facing anybody. It doesn't have to be just on the tournament. Like Josh will fight anybody. Josh has had a lot of momentum after his knockout to Temper last year, and we wanted to take advantage of it. We were going to fight again in October and November. Those fights didn't work out. So we were going to try to push for April, then May, and now we're already going to be in June, July. So, boxing, it's tough sometimes. We've got to be patient, just keep working. But Josh will fight Minicon. Josh will fight whoever. Josh is ready for anybody in that 185 to like 200-pound range. He'll fight anybody. And it's my job to make sure he's ready to take on those kind of fights between that 15-pound gap. It doesn't matter who it is. It's my job to make sure he's ready to take on all challenges. And he is. And Tristan will fight anybody from, 170 to like 185. And he'll fight anybody. He doesn't care either. So those are the kind of guys I like. And we're working on something big for Tristan. We'll see if it happens. But Tristan might have a real big opportunity coming up, and I think everyone's gonna be excited about it. But Tristan will be ready.
Oh wow, it's good. Good to have Tristan back on the scene after when did he last
Oh
fought? He
yeah,
last fought Newcastle, didn't he? Last year.
yeah,
That's your axes. So yeah, good to have both guys back
yeah.
definitely. Anyone else you got your eyes on though, training wise, or those your fighters you're sticking with?
I've been training a girl named Maddie May. She fought at the CFL event. Um, her Instagram handles Maddie May, but she's kind of transitioning and changing everything over now, and she's kind of focusing 100% on boxing. And she's tough. She's very talented. She can really punch. In the 112-pound division, uh, man, I'm the biggest Carla Jade fan ever. I really like Carla a lot. I think she's just so funny, and I just like watching her and everything. She's such a lady. I love Carla, but there's going to be some interesting competition in the next little bit at the 112-pound division. My Shelby girl is very, very tough. She's training 5 days a week with me, and that's not going to take her long to be, cleaning out the division. To be honest with you, she's got the right mentality. She's cut from the right cloth. She's going to be very dangerous for girls at 112 to 118.
Certainly, sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Seems like you got your hands full with all those fighters that you're training. One fighter that you used to train is Jake Paul. He's fighting
yeah,
later this month against Chavez Jr. How
yeah.
does Jake Paul and Chavez Jr. go?
I think Jake can do whatever he wants with Chavez. I think these guys are really underestimating Jake's physical size and his strength and how much better he's gotten. And Chavez fought at 168, and then he fought Uriah Hall. I think about a year ago, and he had a tough fight with him. And Le'Veon and Uriah had a tough fight a couple years ago. It was on Jake's undercard in October in Phoenix, Arizona. So I just think I don't know if they're naive or they're failing to recognize Jake's talent. Jake's gonna box him up. It's gonna be one-way traffic. I'm telling you, Jake's gonna box him up. Chavez is gonna come at him. It's gonna be tough, maybe in the beginning a little bit till Jake gets his timing. But after that, man, I don't see the fight going 10 rounds. That's for damn sure. Jake's punching too much, and it's just he's too much for Chavez, in my opinion. Jake is very good down the middle, and Jake's very good when guys come at him. And you want to come at Jake, I'm telling you, it'll be a short night. I just don't see the fight going the distance, but I'm looking forward to it, and I cannot wait to see Dorticos and Zurdo on the undercard. That's going to be an exciting fight. My good friend Malik trains and works with the Zurdo team, and Dorticos used to be a big name when I was fighting, so he's a little older now, but he can still punch. But I think Zordo is one of those talents, like we saw at 175 and like we saw in his last fight against Chris Billiam Smith, that he's got the goods, man. He's got a great team behind him, and he's got a lot of good weapons in his arsenal, and he's very, very good at the fundamentals, and I just love it. So I'm excited for that fight.
Are you gonna be there? Are you going?
Hell yeah, man. I don't miss any Jake Paul fights. Jake's my little brother, and like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing him go out there and perform. You got to look at the guy's lifestyle. All he does is train. I mean, Jake is the true definition of burn the boats. He was a great famous influencer, and he just canceled everything and just focused on boxing 100%. And now look where he's at. I mean, the kid is just—he's done an amazing job. I couldn't be more proud of him. Like I said, and I don't miss any Jake Paul fights unless I can't go. So I'm still part of the equation, and I take it personal when he fights. So it's exciting and fun for me. But yeah, I'm going to bring a couple of guys. I'll bring a couple of guys from the squad out there and show them what the big fight looks like, and those are the kind of things they have to look forward to.
Oh, I guess Wade will already be there because he'll already be
Yeah,
doing some sort of commentating or punditry or
Wade
interviewing
will be
there.
there.
So,
I pick wins will be there. Tristan will be there. Josh is going to come. Shelby's going to come. They're all coming. So I like taking my fighters to events like that so they can see what the energy is like. It's different, and you got to learn how to deal with it. And the energy for a big fight is you can't compare it with anything else. So getting my guys around that kind of stuff and seeing it and feeling it and feeling that adrenaline's real. That's how you get these guys ready. So, and then of course we got to put the work in when they come back home.
no, certainly. It's good to get the
Right.
atmosphere and sort
Oh
of get
yeah.
used to the sense of what it's like in a
What's
big
your
like
prediction,
that.
Fred? Jake, what's your prediction? I'm taking you out to dinner again on Friday, the day before. Remember, that's our ritual now. You and I pick wins. I'm taking out to dinner every time before the Jake Paul fight. How about that?
I like that. I like that. That sounds very,
Hopefully
very
you
nice.
accept.
Very kind of you, BJ. Shout out to Zach as well. I like Zach. Good guy as well. Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
he's the man. I
Um,
love him too. We're excited about it.
just one last thing then before we
Yeah.
wrap this up. What do you make of Mams and Nakisa going back on Twitter, back and forth on Twitter with these kind of supposedly contracts and these variables?
It's one of those situations where, obviously I got to know Nakisa pretty well over 4 years, and the guy's just a great businessman. He does right by all of his people. He really sticks up for his team. He's a family man. You just gotta love. I mean, look, I really love Nakisa. Regardless of what anybody thinks, I think Nakisa's a great, great manager. He's done a hell of a job for Jake. I don't know if anybody could have done a better job for Jake than Nakisa did, honestly. I mean, if you would have written a way you wanted Jake's career to go, it would have to be similar to how it went. You know what I mean? It couldn't be much off. And on the flip side of that, Mams is just such a great, genuine, down to earth person that I've gotten to know over the last 2 year and a half and worked with many times and traveled. And I mean, the guy would give his shirt off his back. I can't say enough about him. And it's a situation where if they met in a different scenario outside of representing Jake and outside of representing KSI, I think they would get along great. But given everything that's going on and the back and forth, it's just funny to me because I know them both, and I think they're both such great people, and they would get along so good in a different scenario. And that's all I can say about it. Same thing with Jake and KSI. They would get along amazing in a different scenario. It's just there has to be a good and a bad, I guess. And I just Jake is such a hardworking, down to earth guy, and I think JJ is a very similar type of guy. And just it is what it is. The wacky world of misfits.
Well, it would have surprised me if after Jake Paul and KSI fight, they start a business together like Logan Paul and KSI did,
Yeah,
the numbers and money it would generate.
it could potentially happen. I think JJ's at a point in his life where he understands business and Jake as well. And I can't speak on either one of their behalfs, but me knowing Jake, how I know Jake and JJ, not really. I've met him a couple times and chatted with him a couple times. And just a great, great kid, man. He's just so everything around JJ is growing. It's building. He's all about that. And you just gotta love a person like that. So I wish him the best with everything he's doing. And Jake is just I can't even begin to start. Like the man is just he's on another level. They don't make 28-year-olds like Jake Paul. I'll say it. The takeover. I started saying that like in 2020, and I mean the kid's literally taking over. I mean, just like we said.
From training, from when you were training him in
Yeah,
lockdown, in his back garden, in that boxing ring, all the
yeah.
way to where he is now is quite some journey. So yeah, well done, BJ, on your side too. You played a big part in it.
I mean, look, I was a small part in it, but I got Jake into the mentality of the clean living outside of the training every day, the no part. I got Jake, and once he got a hold of that, there was no turning back for him. he tasted that success after the Gibb fight, after the Nate Robinson fight, after the Ben Askren. He tasted a little bit of that success, and he was like, "Man, this is what I'm supposed to be doing." And he realized what his purpose was. And the thing about it is, Fred, like Jake's purpose is just kind of getting started right now. When he's done with boxing, his life's really going to take off because he's just hitting the tip of the iceberg right now. Jake's got a lot ahead of him, and it'll be fun to watch. Boxing was just a way to get him into rooms and get him into certain things that he might have not been able to get into. But you're going to see the real meaning of the word influencer after Jake's boxing career.
Certainly.
The guy's going into politics. He has to.
Well, you reckon? Wait, so you reckon that Jake Paul will be the one to run for president in a few
I
years?
don't know, but I think he could. Honestly, I think he's got the type of mentality. I mean, for sure, governor, for sure, something senators. I mean, I don't know if he wants to do all that, but I just think he's got such an influence and he can move people, and he's just such a powerful kid. So, I mean, president wouldn't surprise me. Nothing he does surprises me. So I'm not going to say. I mean, he could.
That would be quite cool. Then I could say I've interviewed the president. So yeah, I hope he does become president. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Barron Trump and Jake Paul for 2036, whatever. Something. I mean, I think it's a little more realistic than we think.
Wait, how old do you have to be? What's the age gap barrier that you have to become? How old do you have to be to become president? What's the age gap barrier?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never had a president so young where I was like, man, how old do you have to be president? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. We'll have to do a little research on that. But
Looking up
you
right
know,
now, how old do you have
he's
to
definitely got the
be?
wisdom. Jake's gonna have the wisdom to, he's been through a lot, good and bad, and that's how you get perspective. And we'll see what happens. But like I said, June 28th, everybody tune in. It's going to be a hell of a card, hell of a show. I'm going to be there. Fred Beck's going to be there. I Pick Win's going to be there. Josh Bruckner, Tristan Ham, Maddie May, they're all going to be there. It's going to be a lit event, and I cannot wait to see it.
You have to be 35 to become president. So Jake's got a few years left, and then after he's done boxing, on to the
Yeah,
next
he's
thing.
almost there. Yeah, he's got maybe 2 more terms, 3 more terms, wisen him up a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
I'll ask him that question when I interview him in a couple of weeks. But yeah, BJ, I look forward to seeing you on that Friday night for
My man,
our
I
meal. But
appreciate it,
yeah,
Fred.
thanks very much as
Hey,
always,
you're
mate.
doing a hell of a job, man. Keep working and keep getting those interviews. You're killing it, and you're bringing a lot of people a lot of information. Love it.